Well, happy Monday, everybody. June 2nd. Can you imagine? Half of the year is already over. This is amazing. But hey, I want to welcome you tonight, particularly any of the new brand partners. I haven't had an opportunity to meet you personally, I hopefully look forward to seeing you on Zooms and hopefully in person, particularly at the next level event that's coming up on August 8th. We're going to talk about that. But tonight's training is a Monday night new brand partner training. And we do this now every Monday night from 7 to 8 p.m. And we want to be able to help you as a brand partner, dial in your focus. And, it's said that life is like a camera. What you focus on will develop. So our goal is to help you develop to the fullness of all that you desire from this amazing opportunity. And there's no promises or guarantees of income in this amazing opportunity, but we believe that with a strong faith in God, a love for people, and a pretty solid work ethic, being coachable in this opportunity, the sky's the limit. And my wife and I, and by the way, my name is Ken Burke, if we haven't met, and my wife is Diana. We got introduced to this opportunity back in August, just a little over 2 years ago, and by a dear friend of ours. And we had no idea that this patch and this opportunity were going to change our life. And I'll unpack a little bit more of that as we get into the training, but here we are 3 months later, and making more than $1 million a year. I've got four other people on my team making more than me. And this is not normal, by the way, right? And so we didn't see this coming. And but you have an amazing opportunity to tap into something that is the most powerful form of advertising on the planet, which is word of mouth. And I owned an advertising company up to about 10 months ago, and I competed with word of mouth. And word of mouth is the reason why it's the most powerful form of advertising is because you don't have to be a salesperson to participate in it. And that's what's so beautiful about here. Word of mouth is a sales force that you and I don't have to train. When you or me get excited about a good movie, what do we want to do? We want to go out and share it with people. And people who are not good salespeople, they can do that when they're at work, or what have you, and still keep their going on their normal day in, day out job. And that's what we did. I was working 50, 60, 70 hours a week around my 18-man advertising company. And I got excited about this patch. And just like a good movie or restaurant, I began to share it throughout the day and with clients and prospects and employees and friends. And we had to follow the system to do that to make it very easy. And we'll talk about that tonight. So that it made it really redeemable at time. So now that I can stay focused on working my full-time life, but yet begin to pepper this into that, and then begin to see lives change with this amazing patch, and have more of those people begin to buy more patches, and the word of mouth spread from that. And as more patches begin to get purchased, you and me, thanks to this distributor ID, all get a piece of that. And in short, that's really the foundation of this amazing opportunity, along with then you and me plugging into a system. We can all reinvent the wheel if we wanted to, but there is a system, a formula we're going to talk about that has been created by a wonderful couple by the name of Steve and Gina Merritt, who 34 months ago came into this opportunity and hit the highest rank in this business in just 23 days. We're talking potentially $25,000 a week. That usually would take 4 years to do. And they were going to implement a system that all of us could follow to see how well we could do with this too. And thank God for that. By following this amazing system, then that gave my wife and I the ability within 22 months to be making 4 times what we were paying ourselves with our advertising company. And at that point, we were then in a position where we could set a new course and direction for our lives. And thanks to this amazing opportunity, and partly why we're on the call tonight, because frankly, we do very well every day, make thousands of dollars every day, 7 days a week, which is crazy to think about. And we don't have to do any more work to continue to make that kind of money. And so why would I be on a call like this tonight? Because, you can only travel and golf so much. Matter of fact, next 2 weeks, we're going to be out in Portugal and Chamonix, France. And so we take a couple trips a year to Europe. But there's nothing better in life than when you can help somebody else win. And so we have this amazing patch where we're able to bring hope to people with something that nothing on the planet can do. Nothing. And we have a patented technology. We have no competition. And we have an amazing company. A company that this year they'll hit $1 billion in sales, and just back in 2020 they're at 20 million. And think of that meteoric growth, and now 60% of that revenue gets pushed back to me and you versus Google or social media. And so now we have an opportunity to participate in a most amazing, lucrative plan that's really built on a foundation of the collective efforts of others more so than just you or me. There's no way I could punch a time clock enough or patch enough people in order to be able to make the kind of money we're making. But the collective efforts of everybody else doing a little bit of the same thing, that all incrementally adds up, and that creates a compounding effect. And that's a beautiful thing for all of us, because what that does is that buys you and me this thing called time. And so we're going to roll into time in a second here and what that means. And so let me go ahead and make sure I've got also everybody muted here on this call, and then we'll go from there. Thanks, everybody. Appreciate you. Mhm. Okay. Good to see you, Denise Velez. I love seeing a lot of happy, smiling faces. I love seeing the new faces on here too. So let's go help you out. Listen, we're going to be done here in the next 52 minutes, by the way. I'm going to try to walk pretty quickly and dance through these slides here in the next 35 minutes. I'm going to open it up the last 10 minutes so we can get a little Q&A to make sure that you've got some clarity, because clarity produces momentum, produces power, and being clear on something is important, particularly when you're brand new in something. And by the way, there's a great statement that when you're new in this opportunity, there's a whole lot you don't know yet. And let me tell you, we're all there. But here's the beautiful thing: ignorance on fire is better than information on ice. So you don't have to know everything to be excited about this something and to learn how to share it with others so they want to take a look at it too. And that's really the short story. And so let's go ahead and get rolling here through my plan here. Yeah. So this amazing opportunity, hold on, all starts with this right here. Is your why. And the beautiful thing with this amazing opportunity is you literally have the freedom to dream again. Statistically, currently, right now, 85% those in the workforce, they do not like what they do or love it. Some hate it. 60% of all Americans live paycheck to paycheck. This is not the American dream. And so what happens? We get off into life, and then we get beat up in life, and then we got to make sure we're trying to survive and do well in life, get married, have kids, make sure there's enough money for a roof over our head, try to save a little, and for retirement, try to have enough to be able to, cover for a mortgage, hopefully pay that thing down, and this is really not all what we believe life was intended to be. And so, we have an opportunity through this amazing program to be able to offer you the ability to begin to dream again, to ask yourself and to believe, that you do have a dream. And that goes back to your why. Why are you in this opportunity? Why is it that this thing is appealed to you? For me, I hadn't had an advertising company, and prior to COVID, I could have sold it and retired. After COVID, everything changed. I was going to have to reinvent the company. 10 years of history I had to put into that company. I no longer was going to get that back. That was all our savings was built in the value of that company. And now the value was now here versus way up here. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I've got to start over again. I don't want to do this, And so we had a big, big burden, and of trying to figure out how we could get to a point where we could replace, and get back 10 years of loss of income and production, that we could get back into a potential retirement. And we prayed and asked the Lord to bless us, and not knowing that He was going to bring this into our lives and satisfy our deep pain of our why. We had a why that made us cry. Do you have a why that makes you cry? Is there something where you want to bring a spouse home? What is it? Is it, or something where you have just too much burden of debt currently, or unexpected things have occurred, or what is your why? So that's very important to understand what your why is. And because what your why is going to do is this going to produce a definitive purpose. So I love talking about how back in it's 1962, the Russians were the first people into space, and it completely scared the leadership of the United States and the world because back in the day, if you just do the history, if you weren't around back then, it was a long time ago, we were at a Cold War with Russia, and America was leading the way and dominating the world, and we didn't want another player like that to be able to have a play up on us. And Robert Kennedy Jr. at the time, Robert Kennedy, president, he asked the leading scientists, a gentleman at the time, and what's going to take for us to put a man on the moon? And that scientist told him, well, it's going to take 5 words: the will to do it. And out of the sheer will to do it, we put a man on the moon. Why? Because we had a why that could make you cry. There was a deep why that created a pain to think, no, we can't have this happen to us. We've got to do something about it. And what it created an amazing purpose with amazing clarity and amazing problem solving. And, and that is the power of your why and how it produces clarity. And so if you're simply treating this opportunity kind of like a hobby, and where you think it's a neat patch and you want to share it with people, please do that. Don't stop, because the patch is worth it. But if you begin to see what we see, that this is an opportunity that could take the next 10, 20, 30 years of your financial work life and collapse it down into the next 18, 24, 36 months of your life, then you're sitting on an amazing opportunity. And with that purpose, you will begin to create a plan of action. And out of tonight's lesson and what we're sharing with you, you'll be able to see the components that will help get you started and a blueprint to do that. But if you don't have a definitive purpose, you don't have a definitive plan, then you're not going to get the specific results like getting to the moon or getting to your dreams without having that definitive purpose. So, and I'd like to talk about the power of this amazing opportunity against a franchise opportunity, because if you're going to have a definitive purpose and a plan, you got to have a vehicle that's going to take you where really nothing else currently can. If you're a business owner, you would appreciate this. And if you've already thought about starting a business, that majority of business owners after 5 years are no longer in business. It's a rough road to hoe. And so what you need to do, to most people, they buy a franchise. Well, buying a franchise may sound nice, but it's going to cost you everything. It's going to cost you your money. It's going to cost you your time. It's crazy. If a Jersey Mike's, you're going to spend $18,500 just for the franchise fee. Then over time, you've got anywhere from $203,000 to $1.3 million you're going to be investing, and you better have at least $150,000 cash on hand. And now you're going to start dealing with employees, 10 to 15 of them, right? And then you're going to give your franchisor a 6.5% royalty. And, and you only have one way to make money. If you like, how about you like crumble? Okay. If 50 grand for that, you've got to have $367,000 minimum to a 1.4 million available for investing, anywhere from 150 grand to 450,000 available in cash reserves. You're going to have 10 employees. You're going to have 8%. I mean, think about your options. If you're thinking about, hey, I want to leave corporate America, or I'd like to be able to leave my job, well, what could you leave it to, right? If you go all the way down to the bottom here, it may be hard to see this, but you got this life wave, where basically for a little, less than $2,000, you can get in to an amazing opportunity with no additional cash needed. No employees required, no royalty paid to a franchisor. But on the flip side, you have the potential to make unlimited, amazing, crazy money. The first way you get paid goes to 25, or the first residual way is $25,000 a week. And the second major way you get paid is unlimited. And there's 5 different ways we get paid, but just think about that. And then we've been around for 20 years, so we've got a great history, and we're one of the fastest growing companies, in the world in this space. And so if you also begin to think about the reality of what does it take to be successful in the franchising system, well, it takes a lot of training. Jersey Mike's, you've got to go to at least 40 hours of corporate training. There's a whole week of corporate training. Then they're going to put you behind the counter for 500 hours, right? Because they understand what it takes to protect their brand. They understand what's needed. Same thing. You want that Culver's franchise? Well, you got 172 hours at corporate and then 550 hours behind the counter. This is what it takes to be strong and create a healthy brand. And so with what we do, we don't have that requirement. And the nature of what we're doing here really is something that can give you the ability, candidly, to make a lot more money potentially than these franchisors and franchisees, excuse me, are doing. And so where else can you potentially replace your income many times over without all the overhead and have all the freedom to be able to still be you, to be your own boss? And that's what we all are on this call, by the way. We're all our own independent bosses. But we've determined that this system that Steve and Gina Merritt has is an amazing system. And so we all willingly embrace it because we see the benefit of it. And the key is you want to get trained and develop in it. And this is why we make the presentation about the comparison against franchises and the training that's needed and the time spent is because you have a business that literally, respectfully, financially, no lie, has the ability to well outperform these business models. Matter of fact, my degree is in finance, and I think this is one of the most genius business models on the planet because what it does is it liberates our time. So, and none of these things do here. You'd have to own multiple franchises, multiple Jersey Mikes, multiple Culvers, and have a team between you and them that's running everything. And how long would that take you to get there if you ever do? We're here. You can step in for hundreds of dollars and less than a couple $1,000s and get in and get rolling, partner with us, to link arms with us, and begin to help you win and succeed. And I mean, how amazing is that? So here's the thing. The training that we do have a training event that's coming up. It's called Next Level. It's August 8th, 9th, and 10th. That's a Friday night, an all-day Saturday. And there's an optional Christian service afterwards that our leader, Steve and Gina Merritt, will help put together, which will be amazing. But think about this. This is an amazing training that my wife and I, when we went to our first one, we were making around $1,000 a week. But after this event, we came out within a matter of a short window of time, making $1,000 a day. Unlike going to a motivational seminar, which can be great things, but sometimes it can lift you up, and then you leave, and over time, you come back down. This is different. The event like this is your belief, which is the power of this opportunity, and frankly, the power in anything in life, is going to get bigger. The roots are going to go deeper. And when you're there, seeing a 24-year-old making over $1 million a year, or an 82-year-old grandmother out of Puerto Rico hit the highest rank in this company. And by the way, over 100 people now have hit this highest rank, this SPD rank in this business over the last 34 months, thanks to Steve and Gina Merritt. And when you begin to listen to them, my wife and I included, and at an event like this, you gain hope because you realize, oh my gosh, if they could do it, I can do it too. And then when you're there, you begin to hear nuggets and things that you're not otherwise going to hear. And so being there and being in the room is such an empowering reality. And that's why every one of us who are in SPD, we know the power of these. We go to these and we would not in a lifetime. I'll put my kids' birthdays to the side because I want to make sure, those birthdays are valuable. But this is what gives us the freedom to bless our kids with amazing birthdays. Matter of fact, I'm taking for my 60th, I'm taking 23 of our family members and I'm footing the bill thanks to this opportunity for my 60th. And I just had it a week ago, but we're going to be taking a cruise in in August, and an 8-day cruise. And all 10 of our grandbabies, all 5 of our children, and 4 of our marrieds who are taking their spouses, and me and my wife. And we're just going to have the most amazing time. And it's because of going to a next level event is what really helps create the foundation to provide that kind of freedom. I'd gladly move my birthday around something like this. I'll turn it back up. I was just told that I was getting too, I was getting soft. All right. So, so the power of the event is not so much just you or me going. The real power and how you leverage the power is you get as many of your team members that you've enrolled and who they've enrolled, basically bring an army, bring it with you. Because the first event we went to, we had about 60 people come with us. Now we invited, a handful of our team members who then invited some of their team members who then invited their team members. Next time we had 60 people show up. And we had amazing things occur out of that. We had people that were in our downline become SPDs later on because of the commitment level after that. And they weren't anywhere near SPD. This is the power of an event. And so the next one is coming up here, and just 2 months away. And you definitely want to get signed up for it. And it's roughly, I don't know, about $400 a head, which is absolutely nothing. I used to spend 10 to 15 grand to take my people to go see certain people. I want to say what they were, but they were awesome. Walked on fire and all coals and all kinds of fun stuff. And it was awesome. But this, I'm thinking, this is underpriced, candidly. And because what you get out of it is exponential. And I want to show you this in a second here, because here is an idea how you can quantify that if you take X amount of people with you, what you can reasonably expect afterwards in your income, right? So if you bring 3 people with you, well, you can pretty much expect about $250 a week increase in your income, right? So that's about $8,000 a year. That's not a bad thing from just coming to one event, okay? But hey, boom, now you bring 24 people with you. Well, now you're looking at maybe, $1,500 a week. That's $78,000 a year. I highlighted the yellow here at 6,000 at 75 people because my wife and I brought 60, and that took us to $7,000 a week. So these are realistic, and so what you do is you, like I said, bring as many people as you can. You bring an army. And what you don't want to do is you don't want to go and then realize once you're there, oh my gosh, they were right. I should have brought my team and now I didn't. And now I can't explain or share or place the nuggets that we learned back into them as had they been here. You don't want to be there. It's not fair to them. And so what is fair is to be able for you to be able to get everybody from your team and get yourself registered for that event. And if you saw, we had a link on that, but you can go to thisisitconvention.com and get that. And you can talk to your upline. They can show you how to get that as well. All right, so that's one way to be able to increase more money. Now, we have a contest going on for the next, I believe, about another 5 more weeks that you actually could win if you're brand new, right? And it's called a $10,000 Run for Freedom Cash Incentive. This is a contest being done by myself, another team member of ours who SPDs, Greg and Warmbier, and another team member of ours, the presidential director, Josh Holdaway. And we collectively put our money together and put $10,000 in the kitty there and said, okay, let's give out 8 prizes to folks and to brand new people. That means if you came in after the 5th of May, just a couple, 3 weeks back, not before then, but after that, then you're in the running. And everybody got a fresh start right there. So nothing counted before anything was being worked on. We all had to start afresh and build from there on getting new people in, and so what this looks like is that, if you enroll somebody on a premium, you get 3 points, and advanced, you get 2 points, and a core, you get 1 point. And then if you have some of you enrolled after the 5th and they go manager, then that person get 2 points. You're going to get 1 point. If they then hit director, you're going to get 5 points. They're going to get 5 points. You're going to get 3 points. And if they hit senior director, and we've had people scale like this before in short window of time, then they're going to get 10 points. You're going to get 5 points. And what that's going to do is that's going to give you the ability to hit one of these, potential opportunities. And so if making more money and putting more money in the till is something that inspires you, well, we're going to help you get that done with this amazing run for freedom incentive. And we have a tracker that you can print out. I'll show you where to get that in a minute. And so I just want to give you just a heads up that this amazing opportunity has financial gain to it. And if you're going to work for money as a normal job, then why not work for yourself and potentially take yourself further? So let's talk about the simple steps and what it takes just to get started in this opportunity that's highly duplicatable, right? So you're always, when anybody gets enrolled, they're always getting back with the person who enrolled them. So there is no stealing of distributors. It's so easy. How everything is set up. It's totally safe. So whoever invites you, that's the person that you'll get back with, and go from there. Bear with me. Let me make sure I hit mute again on this page. Sorry about that, everybody. Somehow unmuted. Okay. And so that's a safe thing. Matter of fact, the more we get into this business, the better it always seems to get with the quality of the company and our team. So then once you get enrolled, then what you want to do is you want to go to believersforlife.com. Believersforlife.com, that is a link tree page, and that's basically going to give you in the position to get connected with the team. And we're going to talk about that in just a minute, because being connected is the number one reason why people really in part succeed, and the number one reason why they fail. Because once you become disconnected, then you're kind of on your own, and now your focus begins to change. But when you're connected with the team, you get inspired, your belief gets bigger, you get educated, you get coached, you get developed. And so this is a starting point and duplicatable. So when you sign up, you go to Believers for Life. And so I'll quickly take a quick snapshot of that and share that with you, what that looks like. It looks better on the phone because it's designed for that. And but we'll show you what it looks like, see what you're looking at initially here. So here we are. And what it's going to do is it's going to offer you the ability to click. As a first priority, click here and text the word hello to join our group text thread. And it's going to automatically, when you click it from your phone, automatically populate the word hello in your phone. And it's going to already populate that number, and you're going to be able to just hit send. And that's going to get you connected to our group text thread, by which we bring notifications to the team Zooms and the Zoom launches that are going on every week, and the Zoom trainings, so that you're aware of that. Secondly, we have a Believers for Life school, SKOOL platform, kind of like a Facebook, but it's our community that gives us the ability to put all the resources, training resource in there to be able to help you access those, so help you win. And that's another thing. You just click on these buttons here. And then you also can get your next level convention ticket. You can also buy that here as well. So we have these links that quickly for you. And then should you have a hard time getting into school first, we do have what's really most important. You click get launched, let's launch, there's a video there. And then step 1, step 2, and then contact your upline. This is another way for you just to kind of stay in the mix and get focused on on plugging into the system. And it's duplicatable. When you enroll your friend, you tell them to do the same thing. We're just showing you what to do here. We also have some success resources. Your main tool, visit info.com. That is the landing page that we all share when we're sharing the patch. You and I don't want to be the expert, and thank God, we have this amazing landing page that has all the research, all the data, the patent, the studies, doctors, testimonials, all sitting on this. You want to study this thing, but when you are sharing the opportunity with people during the day, this is what liberates you from having to be the salesman. And so when someone says, "Hey, Ken, can you tell me more about it?" I said, "Sure, I've got a link that will tell you all about it. And can I text it to you?" And you just text them, "This is at info.com." And then boom, they get to see, a branding statement here. They get to see in 3 minutes how light works in the body, 3 minutes how a founder created the patch. They see the patents, the studies, the government articles. Dr. Leland explained how this patch works, how to wear the patch. Here's the patent again, which is amazing. And the highlight of it, talking about improvement in energy and elevation of antioxidants and activating stem cells and reduction in pain and reduction in inflammation and improvement in stamina, elevate collagen production, improvement in wound healing. Just amazing. It's all sitting on here. So you can send this, to those that you are contacting to. And by the way, on the very top, there's a button that says testimonials, and you'll find all kinds of testimonials on this page. Sleep, weight loss, bladder improvement, blood sugar, neurological disorders, you name it, you can find it. So this is your best friend that keeps you from having to be a salesman and keeps you focused on doing the first things first. Work wherever you work, be a great employee there. And then when you're sharing this, like at a water cooler or what have you, then you can do a quick invite and then point them to this site here. Let me back it up here. Alrighty, so that all is found on our believersforlife.com Linktree page. And then once you do get on over to our resource, our school platform, let me show you what that's going to look like for you. Bear with me. And let me make sure you've got this scene here. So over here is our school platform, SKOL Believers for Life. It's going to look like this. And once you get signed up for that, you'll get invited in, and then we'll accept you in, and then you're there. And the things you want to look at when you're on this platform is we have our main wall, like kind of like Facebook, and so we have a Zoom schedule for the week. We have our Run for Freedom. We have their next level, Explore Your Paycheck. These are things that you can comment on and reply, just like you're on Facebook, right? But when you go to the classroom, this is where you find resources. And in the classroom here, we've got our Run for Freedom, it's cash incentives. We have steps involved here that help make it simple to understand, what you need to do next. But then we have new brand partner training recordings. We have X39 presentations recording. We have their ladies presentation recordings. We have coaching Zooms. We have a social media now strategy, which is powerful here. That if you click it, it gives you a 31-day what to do each day. As you just click each day of what to do if you're looking to run a social media format with this. Very powerful. And so we just recently put that up. And so we're excited about that. And so, but as you study, this platform like you would a franchise manual, get to know what's on there. We have doctors explaining X39. And so you click all over, it's all YouTube related. You can share these videos. And here we have, from a neuropsychologist to Dr. Jen is amazing. I love this 10-minute video. But just go down and start picking these doctors out who can explain the patch. And so it's highly credible, but it's found right here on school. And so it's a great resource to help you continue to increase your knowledge and share the knowledge with others of the credibility of this amazing opportunity. All right. So, and then lastly on this, there's 3 sections I shared before, is we have the community, we have the classroom, and then lastly, we have our calendar. And you click the calendar there, and what you want to do is, because it's not easy to see what's coming up, like tonight, right now, we show the Zoom events that were happening today. But what you want to do is you want to come over here and change with these 3 lines here. You change the view, and now it makes it easy to see what's coming up. So for instance, Tuesday night, we'll have our team call at 7, and then I'll do a X39 presentation. So if you want to invite people, bring them. Then on Wednesday, we have a ladies Zoom. It's been phenomenal, 12 to 1 o'clock, right? And so, and then on Wednesday night, we have a coaching Zoom, and then also there's gonna be a Wednesday night Zoom launch. So you can just take a look at the Zooms that are coming up, because that's a real key part of the system that I'll talk about in a minute, because knowing the Zoom schedule is your lifeline to your dreams, literally. And because this is where we invite our family and friends to know the Zoom launches that are going on, the presentations, so they can learn more. Like tonight, there's one at 8 and 10 o'clock tonight. And there was one earlier today. And so if you knew about them, then you could invite your friends if you're during the workday and say, hey, if you want to learn more about this, there's a great Zoom going on tonight. Would you like a link to it? Boom, send them to the link. It's all about eyeballs on Zooms. All right, let me back up here. So going back to the steps of getting started, which is duplicatable, is you text, you get on the, you text 727. The text, excuse me, is going to populate because we just automated this recently, so it's a great thing. We used to tell people, go ahead and text this number. Now they can just go to believersforlife.com, hit a button, and it will do it for them. And so thank God for that. Love technology. And so join the community. And once you're on school, it's important on the where I said the school classroom is you want to watch the welcome video and then watch step 1 and watch step 2. That's going to kind of get you focused on really what's important on getting you launched. And then once you do that, you want to get with your upline who called you and say, hey, I'm ready to onboard to launch. And so let's take a look at what that means. Here's the steps that one goes through when they're going to launch. And so once again, and this is what we do and what I do when I get with somebody, I'll ask them, hey, tell me again, what's your why? And I want to hear what the depth of why they're doing it. Not just I want to get a house. I want to hear really what's covered over, what's down their heart. Then I want to know how much time are they going to have available, given their busy schedule. So I know how to dance with their schedule. Then I'm going to ask them their earnings. And I'm going to ask them two questions. I want to find out, hey, in the next, say, 90 days, what is it that you feel that you would need to be making to really make this self real? What is that number and why is that? And then I'm going to ask them another question on their earnings. I said, what's going to be your set free number? And like, what do you mean a set free number? A set free number is a number that if that number is coming in every week, that now you no longer have to work, that you have more than enough, and there's an abundance for you to be able to live the best life that you designed, that you've always wanted to live. What is that number? And and usually it's the first number that comes to most people's mind, believe it or not. Because subconsciously you kind of already know what the pain you're going through and what have you. And if you didn't have to go through that, and you have to show up for a job anymore, and what would that look like? And that's where we want to get you. We want to get you to a set free number. For my wife and I, that number was 20,000 a week. It's a big number for a lot of people, but I already ran a company and I need something bigger to be able to give me a position where I knew that we would have the freedom necessary to be able to get in within 22 months by God's favor and blessing. We got to that number, but knowing that number was important because I had a benchmark in my soul. You need to have benchmark in your soul of where you're going, why you're committed, what you're doing, why you're all in. It's important. Then from there, it's important to build a list. And initially, I tell people it's so important to start on paper. You can convert it to your phone and an Excel spreadsheet after, but you want to build a list. And see, the power of the list is really going to determine your launch and how you get started. Because the smaller the list, the smaller the launch. The bigger the list, the bigger the launch. And at a minimum, you really want to get 100 names. At a minimum, you want 100 names on a list. You want to pray and ask God and look in four initial categories: your family, your friends, the people you work with, and those you do life with, work out with, whatever you may do. Play pickleball with. And as you begin to pray and ask God to be able to bring these names to you, it's not that every single one's going to want to sign up, but out of those, all that you begin to put, there's going to be the sum of those that God has really purposed to be in this amazing opportunity, to be wearing this patch and finding the hope that this patch offers. And so that list is profound. And so the bigger the list, it's like the deeper your launch pad is to handle a bigger rocket ship to take off. And when you have 100 or more names on that list and you have calling 3, 4, 5 people, either don't get a hold of them or don't get an answer you're looking for, you still got a whole lot of hope. But if you only got 5, 10, 15 names on that list, you have a problem. And because the way life works is God works in abundance. He who scatters bountifully is going to reap bountifully. He who scatters sparingly is going to reap sparingly. And the key is you want to scatter bountifully. And God wants you to too, because we firmly believe if you have a faith in God, and we firmly believe that God birthed David Schmidt on this planet, gave him the brain work to be able to figure out this patch over 10 years. And David will tell you, no one creates, only God creates. And he believes that God did give him this. And now, guess what? We're all on this call. Why? Because this patch has changed our lives. So if you don't think God is not behind getting this patch, getting the word out on this patch through me and you, think again. And listen, he never fails. So you can trust him to get out there and begin to share this amazing hope, this patch of hope with people you love and care about and people who don't even know every day. And to begin to make an inroad on getting this product out into the masses and changing lives. And so your list is a starting point. And from that list, what you want to do is you want to book your first launch event with your upline. And so when you're with your upline, you book an event with them right then. And that event usually is going to be on Zoom. Some people can do it in their home. And either way is great. And now since COVID's way past, thank God, meeting in homes is a great thing. But Zooms is a super powerful thing as well. So what tickles your fancy? What's better for you? Pick one, but get one. Matter of fact, maybe put 2 on the books. And then you want to go through and contact and invite. And I want to give you just kind of what to say, how to say when you're contacting your friends and family. And I want to go through this real quick. This will be recorded as well. I'm probably chunked out. But when you're contacting your friends and family, first of all, what you want to do is I encourage you pray before. right? Be excited. And then here's a guideline to think about. He who says the least to the most amount of people wins. And if you're on the phone more than about 3 minutes, you're probably on the phone too much. And also another principle is he who asks questions controls the conversation. So when you're calling your friends and family and to invite them to your first Zoom launch, you call a good friend of yours, your friend's name's John. Hey, John, it's Ken. What's going on? Good. Hey, listen, I catch you at a bad time. Yeah. Oh, great. Listen, I'm super excited about something I want to share with you. Yeah, Ken, what is it? I got a question for you, John. Yeah. What do you know about stem cells? Can you shut up? So, and then they're going to say, well, I don't know. I know this, that, and the other. Why? What do you ask? Well, because I've got my hand on the most amazing technology. It's a little sticker the size of a quarter. You can put it anywhere on your body, and it actually will turn on your dormant stem cells, John. I don't know if you knew this. I didn't know this because my doctor never told me, but we have stem cells throughout our whole body, in our brain, our bones, everywhere for healing, repair, and restoration. And a stem cell can morph into any cell the brain tells it. But guess what, John? By the time we're 30, half of those stem cells are now dormant, aging setting in, right? And we're going to feel it. By the time we're 60, they're almost all dormant. Well, this little thing is turning stem cells back on, no injections, light in the body. And it's done this for my wife, is it, for Diana, did this for her hot flashes, this for our autistic granddaughter, this for my dad's scarred lungs, this for my friend's frozen shoulder. And so we're excited. And I thought about you. Hey, John, is this something you want to learn more about for you? Oh, really? Why is that? Well, listen, I'm putting together a private Zoom. I have a friend of mine who's helped me get the word out on this because he knows a whole lot more than I do.
Hmm.
And I'm inviting you and just a few other friends and family to my first one. And obviously, I love you, I care about you, I thought about you because I want to see if you see what I see. So if I get you the link, can I count on you to join me? So that is like almost like a canned formula. And then he says, well, yeah, I'll do that. Great. It's 8 o'clock tonight or whenever you have it Zoom. But you want to have the Zoom that week, not next week. You want to have it within typically 2 to 3 days. If you can't, do it within that same week because there needs to be a sense of urgency. And if anything, have two of them back up. Have another one set up, right, that you schedule with your upline. And then when they start asking questions, say, hey, those are great questions. Can you do me a favor and save those? I'm sure other people will have the same questions too for the Zoom. We'll get those answered. Great. I'm going to call a few more people and I look forward to seeing the Zoom. Have a great night. Click. So that is a contact and invite formula. That's one. And you can find others, from that are available to you, but that's one that you should find works for you from there. Alrighty. So that was under word choice. And also, by the way, we're going to talk about going manager because your goal is to do that. I'm going to get to that in a second. I want to talk about what that is because this whole business is built on manager making machine, people going manager and then making managers. And we're going to talk about that. And then once again, if your upline is doing this job, it's going to make sure that not only is it equipped you for the word choice, but also that you're registered for next level that we just went through. So let's talk about this manager because this is the foundational play. This is the key play in the playbook that we all implement and replicate. And so to go manager for you, you've got to be on at least a 6 or 20 pack. That's an advanced or a premium pack, and on a 2-sleep monthly maintenance. And then you've got to have 2 friends left, 2 friends right, that have bought at least a core, a 3-pack or above, and be on at least a 1-sleep monthly maintenance. And once you accomplish that, boom, you are a manager. And now the next goal after that is to go find 2 more people, on your left and right side and help them go manager. And that, in short, is how this thing is done. It's that crazy simple in replication. And so once you do that, you do want to get into a system. We have a system, and here's the core of it. It's called a PRO system. This is where you are going to, and PRO stands for patch, revisit, and opportunity, where you're sharing the patch, you're following up, and you're getting eyeballs on a Zoom. And so to see the plan. And so the goal is for you is to, talk to X amount of people a day on a consistent basis. And so, sorry, I still got some background noise here. Sorry, guys. Hold on one second, please. This one I need. Bear with me, guys. Sorry, one second here. All right, thanks for your patience. So you're going to establish a formula for success on a daily basis by which you get into a cadence of doing this. And so here's the reality of what this looks like. That if you decide to share with one person a day on basically a 5-day work week, and follow up with one person a day, and try to invite all those folks to see a Zoom at one point during the week, well, you would have talked to 261 people in a year. You think you're going to find some winners out of that? You know, and then say 3 people days. We try to encourage people to think about 3 to 5 people a day, and who are looking to build this opportunity. Well, 3 people a day that you're sharing the opportunity with, following up with 3 people a day, and trying to get at least 3 of them onto a Zoom each week. That's 783 people in a year. 5 people a day, 1,305 people. And so the power in this amazing opportunity is your power to be consistent in setting a realistic cadence to be able to break forth through the ranks that are offered once you begin to do this. And so the key is you want to establish a daily method of operation. So how many people will you talk to today? How many people will you follow up with today? And how many people will you get into a Zoom this week? Because this is what's going to happen. It's going to take you through these levels of doing this and the replication of your team doing it, where you're going to hit this manager, director, senior director, executive, presidential. And this is what we saw. When I saw $25,000 a week, that's when my eye was on. I'm like, okay, let's get going. And so, I mean, within our first 100 days, we had enrolled like 60 people to try these patches, and some to want to build with us. And it was amazing because he used scatters bountifully, reaps bountifully. And once again, it started here in rep and manager. And then what we did is you take a 20 left, 20 right approach and set a time frame. I'm going to sign up 20 people left, 20 people right, say in 90 days. And some people do it in 9 months, some people do it in 9 days. And within 90 days, we had been through 20 left, 20 right almost 1.5 times, because in my first 20 left, 20 right, I found Greg Warmbier, my 5th person in, he became SPD. And on my other side, my second 20 right, 20 left, 20 right, and in day 100, I found Andy Warmbier, and out of that have come, Andy Hoser, and out of that have come just amount of blessings, a cascade of blessings. And that's the power of abundance, is as you stay abundant, God blesses that, and he'll help you pick up the leaders that you need for your organization. And so, and as you get to your 60 goal, you have director, and then you have senior director, and what that looks like is you're basically just replicating the manager play over and you go manager, then you help 2 of your friends go manager, and then you're going to help those 2 friends help their people get 2 people go manager. That takes you all the way to senior director. And now you've got the blueprint, because this is the blueprint. This is the guideline. This is why you go manager. This is why you do 20 left, 20 right, is to be able to satisfy this structure. And once you got this structure satisfied, then it's just a matter of volume, and you just stay in the cadence with your daily method of operation. Another powerful play I want to talk about here quickly, and I'm going to open this up in a second, is you got to plug into your upline. 3-way calls and allowing your upline to help you do the presentations initially, and then until you do the presentations, you will learn faster watching and listening to them. And you're looking to increase your learning curve really rapidly. That means you're going to grow faster. And 3-way phone calls are profound. Greg is really awesome at this. We've been doing more of them, and we've been able to help our team become more successful more quickly at getting more people enrolled. Because when a team member reaches out to me and says, hey, Ken, I got a friend of mine I'm going to be on the phone with, at 2 o'clock today, and I'm going to, let them know that, and I'm going to invite you in on the conversation. Can you be available? Yes, sir. Absolutely. And so, and that then, when they make the introduction and I jump on the call, I honor the person, both my team member and the person I'm talking to, and I ask them, hey, how can I help you? And I find out where they're at quickly. And then the idea is with a team member the other day, someone who really didn't know much about the patch at all. Within 30 minutes, we had them sign up on an advance, all over the phone. So that's the power of having team that can help you win, and then you can see how that's done too. And so, and obviously you want to use your upline for your private Zoom and home launches as well. And so, and the key also additionally is you want to be able to have the Zoom schedule available to you, which we have at school. And so on Mondays, Tuesdays, and Wednesdays, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursdays, we to our Believers for Life Zoom schedule. Believers for Life is a community I founded that sits underneath. This is a team umbrella that's 400, almost 500,000 people strong now. So we create a community to make it granular for you. And so we have our own Zoom schedule that occurs not at the same time as this is a team. So we want to make sure we're still part of that amazing team. As a matter of fact, tonight, both at 8 and 10 o'clock tonight, this is a team is doing 2 Zooms. And so, and there'll be more also. And so you can get with your upline also on that Zoom schedule, but we produce ours, we put it on our school platform and also put it out to the team through this text. Lastly, what I want to do is I want to help you understand that when you're signing somebody up, this year, that old school is new school. And we have these forms. And instead of trying to send somebody a link and asking them, hey, I'm going to send you a link and just follow through that and sign yourself up. Here's what happens. Most of the time they don't. Most of the time the link gets hiccupy. Most of the time they're going to call you back and say, hey, hold on, how do I do this again? And basically you've lost control. But this beautiful thing of this sheet of paper here, which you're looking at on the screen here, is the most amazing way to simplify and get people enrolled. We enroll everybody with here. Whether I'm on the phone with them, I will text them a copy of what this looks like when I'm talking about the opportunity. And then I'll ask them, hey, which one of these best fit you? You know, the advanced or is it premium or is it the core? And you want a 1 or 2 seat monthly auto ship. And then I just say, okay, what's your credit card, your phone number, your birth date, and email, and is your billing address and the same as your credit card address. And I can get all the information and I can get them off the phone. But before I do that, I'll flip this thing over in the back and I'll write down what it is they're looking for. What's ailing them? What are they hoping this pass is going to do for them? Then I'll ask them, hey, who do you know that potentially their first 4 people that they really believe that they love and care about that need to be on this patch too? And so now I've got a documentation that I've got for a follow-up. Plus now I can go and at a later point during the day or at Starbucks at my home that night, and I can key the order in on my computer and not try to fumble around on my phone to try to get it in because it's a little more difficult to key it on the phone where it's much easier to look at it. And so that is the power of using the enrollment form. And so, and not doing a Zoom link. So, and we have, I have take a binder now and I have in the binder, we put the people that we have signed up and we use it as our follow-up so that we can then look on, who we signed up and then we can look on the back of what their thing, what that was with them, with their situation, with their family. But it's a great form to be able to stay connected with people when you're following up, because now you've got a way to do it. And to me, trying to do it electronically on an Excel spreadsheet isn't as effective as just turning a page, knowing I got everything in a binder, that I use a old-fashioned hole punch, and it's so funny in a digital age how this seems to be even more easier. And so it's pretty awesome. And you can find, how to also enroll somebody on step 6 in the school program. And I want to show you that if you've never enrolled somebody and you can't get a hold of your upline, then if you quickly go to school, let me show you that real quick here. Go back into the classroom. Believe it or not, under step 6, under back office and comp plan, if you click that, there is under step 6, it will say back office and comp plan right here. And if you click under back office, then you get a drop down menu and there's a thing here. It says, hey, enroll a new brand partner. And then this gives you a 5-minute little tutorial of how to enroll somebody right there. And so that saves your upline time and it gives you quick access to time to be able to learn how to do that. So now if you've got a form in hand and now you're equipped to know how to do that, and you can know how to also set up a right and left leg, and we can talk about another training, but you can get with your upline on that too. There is a training on how to set up the right and left leg, all within a matter of 2 minutes and 43 seconds. How to go in your back office to make sure you know how to set some on your left or your outside right. And so it's all there. And if you just continue to scroll down through this step 6, you can look at, Lifeway product pack explain, ordering, sponsoring outside of the United States, how to set up and edit auto ship, how to upgrade your kit, how to set up your e-wallet to get paid. So, there is great training in short, succinct videos right here. And that's under step 6 in the classroom. And so that's just another avenue for you to learn, kind of like your franchise manual. Alrighty, so I'm a little later on time I wanted to, but what I want to do at this point is I want to open up for Q&A. And so if you have any questions that I can best help you, so that are a burning question you have, I'm sure other people may have the same question as well. And I'll go ahead and get that answered for you. And then we'll wrap this up here in a few minutes. Just have to unmute yourself on the bottom. It depends on your phone, wherever there's a mute button. Yes. Yeah, definitely Spanish is going to be, I mean, Mexico is the fast growing section of LifeWave on a percentage basis in the world. And Puerto Rico is just blowing up.
Yeah, Ken, I have a question. If it's possible, like if
Yeah.
you can share these slides with us, with the team, or I don't know if they're in the school. Next weekend I'm gonna be with a team that I have in Orlando, but some of them are like more in Spanish, and that's one thing that maybe we can try to. I can translate these to Spanish.
Right.
And then also, I know we have some people in Spain. I know Mexico is opening now, but I know
Yeah.
we have people in Spain and Puerto Rico too.
Yep.
So that would be good, and I volunteer myself to do it.
We'd
Um,
appreciate it.
and then on the other thing, in my case, I have right now. I was talking to men. I have talked to like 20 to 30 people,
Yeah.
but I haven't been able to close, those. Some of those people I haven't spoke to them in ages, and I'm like a very friendly people person. So,
Right.
I know that you say they talk the less, but I mean, I cannot just, yeah, I mean, like talk to them without asking, hey, how you doing, their family.
Yeah,
So I
sure.
need to like kind of like wrap up, like, so is there maybe like a technique that I can say, oh, I know I called you a couple of weeks ago, but I haven't heard, like how it would be a nice way to go back to them because they are like ghosting me, or like,
Sure.
I don't know. I don't know. It's like I need to close. I haven't been able to close. And I have like 20, 30 people that some actually say, oh, wow, interesting. But, like,
Well, it all depends on how the conversation went, and was there an opportunity to then have a dedicated time to follow up?
mm,
Okay, so when I'm talking with somebody, and once again, if I'm calling somebody I haven't talked to in a long time, it's like this. I say almost the same thing to everybody, except that I haven't talked to them in a long time. When I call them, I'm gonna say, "Hey, Uncle John, it's Ken. Long time no see. I'm super excited about something I want to share with you. That's why I'm calling. Did I catch you at a bad time?" And then he says, "No, Ken. What's going on?" He says, "Well, listen. Before I get into what I want to share with you, can you just help catch me up? How's Aunt Betty doing? And how's the dog? How the kids? What's been going on?" And I do that, right? And so to make sure that they know that I care more about them than why I'm calling. But it's direct. So I've got that all laid out. Then I say, okay, and they'll say, "Hey, Ken, what is that thing you were talking about?" And that's when I go into standard mode. Well, Uncle John,
okay.
what do you know about stem cells? And so I don't have a natural conversation. I have a dedicated guideline
Okay.
conversation that sounds natural. "Hey, Uncle John, what do you know about stem cells?" And that's gonna
Okay.
stop him, right? And he's gonna tell you whatever. And then the next thing I do is, well, listen, I've got my hands on this amazing technology that actually turns our own dormant stem cells back on. I don't know if you knew this, Uncle John. We actually have stem cells throughout the whole body, for healing, repair, and restoration. They can turn into any cell the brain tells it. But guess what, Uncle John? By the time we're 60, 90% are now dormant. By the time we're 30, half are dormant. And this little sticker turns them on back naturally. It's the size of a quarter. You can put anywhere in the body. And did this for, one of our family members, another family member, and I thought about you and your knee or whatever, and so that's why I'm calling. So I'd like to know, Uncle John, is this something you would like to learn more about for you?
Okay.
Because he who asks questions controls the conversation. And so I need to, and once I share the excitement, what's happening, I want to know, hey, is this something you'd like to learn more about? And then if they say, yeah, I think I'd so, and I'll say, oh, really? Why is that? Oh, really? Why is that? I spent 10 grand to learn that thing back in sales, and because salespeople like to throw up and like I do, and I had to learn to shut up, get my emotions aside, ask, why, Uncle John? Well, your Aunt Bay's got going this, I had this going on. Well, that's awesome. Well, hey, Uncle John, listen, I've got a friend of mine who's helped me get the word out to our family and friends, and I'm doing an invite to a private to Zoom, and I'd love to invite you to take a look because I want to see Uncle John if you see what I see, and can I count on you to join me? Sure.
Okay.
If does that help you?
Yeah, also, and then the other thing is like most of my friends are older than me, and they are kind of in a tight budget. So
Yeah.
the next question they're gonna have is like, how much it costs? Like so I don't know if that's common in the American culture, but at least in the Hispanic, they want it. So I know some of them are kind of tight. So how
Right.
kind of like offer that opportunity to you can also earn money, while you share this, no?
Yeah. Yeah. So, um, I just tell people it's about $3 a day.
Okay.
And that's why I tell them, I don't know if they have Starbucks in the Latino world,
Yeah,
because
yeah,
you guys
yeah,
make
they
such
do,
great
they do.
coffee, I'm saying, whatever, and because I can't go to Starbucks and see anything for $3 on the darn menu,
Hmm.
literally, and a Red Bull costs more, what I'm saying? So, and I said, and I'll tell them, I said, listen, it's about $3 a day, but, so does that sound like you still want to learn more about it?
Okay.
And that's how to ask them, you know, and, and I tell people if there's a will, there's a way. If you see that this could do anything for you, would it be worth to you? What's it worth to you? And if you could afford $3 a day to get rid of your knee pain, back pain, this pain, other pain, is that worth it? And by the way, and I try to get their mind off them. I said, think about the other folks that are closest to you, love and care about, and how they're doing right now. And the hope that we could bring them. Would you want to, Macy, take a look at what this does first before you determine the value of how much it's worth it or not? And so I mean, that's kind of how I'd couch it.
Thank you.
Great questions because we all go through those questions.
Yeah. And I just want to share quick, I mean, the next level, I mean, if you guys are not registered, I really encourage you guys to do it because I was using the patch for 2 years, okay, and with my mom, and 1 year myself, and I never did the business. So when I saw the Rise Up convention is when I saw the potential, and I started to do the business in January, and I hit my manager like in a month, and director, and now some people fall, some like working in my list with the other people, but I didn't see it until I saw the training. So now I'm gonna be live. I'm gonna be in Orlando. So I really encourage you guys to take that opportunity, see it as an investment of your business, and that you're gonna get more. So
That's awesome, Denise. Thank you for sharing that. It is so true. And yeah, it's going to be powerful. And yeah. So, any other questions before we close it out? Thanks for staying a little extra here. It is recorded. And it's hard to be able to help you out. All righty. Well, like I said, tonight there's actually a Zoom that's going on right now, and with this team, and so if you should be registered for their YouTube channel. You'll see it right on there, both at 8 and 10 o'clock tonight, and then tomorrow we have our Believers for Life team Zoom tomorrow night. That's where we want to make sure you get all the troops rallied around at 7 o'clock tomorrow. And till 8, and then 8 o'clock tomorrow night, I'm doing a opportunity Zoom also, so you can invite people to that as well. And then Wednesday is a women's Zoom. And there's more Zooms this week, but I just want to kind of give you a quick rundown the next couple of days and getting excited about this. And lastly, I'll say this. As you're getting into this opportunity, you really want to understand to have a vision that it's not just about patching people and bringing them hope physically. It's about potentially blessing people financially and setting them in a whole new trajectory of their life financially that they cannot get access to. And so you'll find yourself patching more people, building the business than you will trying to just share the patch to try to help people get healthy. And so, and that's that because those of us who are leading the way and building the business, we have big teams. That means we have a lot of people getting patched. And so, and that's what we're doing. We're leading because there are people who are hungry. They are looking. People are not just looking to feel better and sleep better physically. They're looking to feel better and sleep better financially. And so we have the way to be a hope for them, and you do too, as you join us in this mission on helping people begin to get set free, not only physically in their bodies with this amazing past, but also begin to get set free financially and let God begin to bless them so that the things that He put inside of them, now they can begin to do in bigger mass. And so, because if you have a love for God and a love for people, and God begins to prosper and bless you, and He loves to do that, what do you think you're going to do? Your heart's just going to want to be a blessing to more people. And as I shared with some people a while back, we bought 90 acres in Malawi, Africa, and gave it to a ministry recently. And we're so excited, because this is the bigger what it's about. And we support new ministries and bigger ministries in a bigger way than before that we're so excited about. And we want that for you as well. We want you to be able to have your dreams come true and have you be able to fund the kingdom of God and do other great things for the community too. So, well, hopefully, look forward to seeing you all tomorrow night and our Believers for Life Family Team Zoom. And that is a once a week event. That is a core event where we get together, celebrate one another, celebrate wins, celebrate testimonials, who's hitting ranks, and get some tips to win the week. And so it's a great way to get your new team members on there. Make sure you're on there too. And like I said, life is like a camera. What you focus on will develop. And it's events like this that begin to help you develop with a greater focus so you can win bigger, really for yourself and for your family and for the Lord. Well, thank you, everybody. It's been a blessing to be with you. And have a wonderful night.